So we come down to Botallack for our second recce run of the Arc of Attrition 100 miler, and this recce we're doing today is actually the longest section without an aid station. So we're doing the stretch from Botallack to St Ives Bay today, which I think is about 25k in total. So Botallack here is the 100k point, 101k point on the Arc of Attrition 100 miler, and then St Ives, where we'll end up, will be about 125k into the route. Looks very up and down, so we've had a look at the elevation profile, so we're expecting a good bit of steps and hills today, but a good chance just to recce it, see what it's like, and we'll take you along with us so you can get a sense of the terrain and see what to expect if you're thinking of doing this race or signed up for this race in January. So we're about a mile from where we started in Botallack at the 100k point, and we've just reached Levant or Levant. Apologies any Cornish folk for my bad pronunciation, but we've seen a lot of chimneys along the route here, as you can see, just dotted about around us here at Levant. And this is because around here at Botallack there used to be a lot of mining, mainly of tin and copper, and this is actually where they filmed Botallack, so famous TV series. So if you're a Botallack fan, a lot of these sites, buildings, landscapes might be familiar. Underfoot it's generally quite good so far. It's mainly been gravel path, the odd stone here or there, but generally pretty runnable on this section. Though of course what we've got to keep reminding ourselves is that, you know, when we come back here in January, of course the weather is going to make a big difference. You know, we could be going into driving winds, could be that there's a lot more water underfoot, a lot more puddles, but then it could just be sunny. Who knows, it might be the heat wave year for the Arc of Attrition. First bit of a climb for today. Yeah, the views in this section are amazing, just good view after good view, so many points of interest, things to look at. It's almost a shame I'll be doing most of this race in the night time come January, but at least getting to see it now and, you know, getting a feel for the course. But yeah, lovely, really, really stunning route. If this is a bog now, just think what it will be like come January. You know, it's been relatively dry recently, so you know, we're mid-July at the moment. So these sections here, where there's quite a narrow path, could be pretty churned up. Just come past a lighthouse here after about half a mile on this road, and we're carrying on down this way to continue along the southwest coast path. So this sign does look like initially it is just private property, but if you look below, southwest coast path on foot only. So yeah, you do carry on along here, even if from a distance it looks like private property. This is the way to go. So about 4 miles from Botallack where we started, and this section is, although not very hilly, there is quite a few rocks to clamber over and some spots that look like they could accumulate a lot of mud. So I imagine this could be pretty marshy and swampy come January. Yeah, and you can see in some sections it's actually pretty marshy right now, so a lot of surface water there. But luckily there are some rocks here to step over this mud. So I mentioned earlier the mining heritage of this part of Cornwall. It's important to stick to the paths as much as possible, because in some spots there are some warnings saying keep to the footpaths, because otherwise you could go down a mine shaft, and I imagine you don't want that written as your reason for DNF, fell down a mine shaft. So yeah, do bear that in mind. Some of these paths, particularly around Botallack, worth rigidly sticking to the path. So we're currently a few miles from Zennor, and this section is definitely pretty fiddly. Lots of ups and downs, quite a lot of rocks underfoot, like you can see just here. Carla's gone over there. So we just had a quick stop off for lunch in Zennor. It's a little bit off the southwest coast path, but if when you get to here, which has the sign to Zennor Head, then you can go that way, and it's about half a mile to Zennor. There's only a pub and a church there really, so you know, not a massive amount there. It's not like shops or anything, but you can have a pub lunch and maybe a quiet moment for reflection, and then get back on the trail path again. So we're now heading towards St Ives. St Ives is the next stop, which will be the aid station, the next aid station. So the Botallack was the aid station we came from at the start today, and then St Ives is the next one. Hi there. Bit of a confusing bit where the path just hits some rocks here, but if you carry on going up, straight up here over them, and the path does carry on again over in this direction, but it is just a bit of a boulder field at this point. I'm just recording on my phone because my battery for the GoPro is gone, but this section has taken us a lot longer than we thought. I think it's almost 5:30 now, and we started at like, when was it, 11:30 this morning. So yeah, we've taken a good while. I mean, we had to stop off for about half an hour, but yeah, it's very, very fiddly, this section. So we never thought we were going to see St Ives, but there it is.
And you've got to do 100 miles on this.
So we're just coming out of St Ives, and between Botallack and St Ives, so the longest stretch without any aid station, it's roughly 15.5 miles according to my watch. We added a little bit on with the stop in Zennor, about a mile, so it's showing 16.5 on my watch, but if we take that off, that mile, then 15.5, and it's about 1,000 meters of climbing, which it definitely feels like more because it's quite fiddly, and a lot of the flat sections have quite a lot of rock, and so it's quite technical underfoot in places. But going into St Ives, there's about a mile of tarmac, and then you've probably got 3 miles or so total of tarmac going through St Ives, and then we're just coming up path at the moment out of St Ives. And I think once you've done, you know, over 120k in a quite technical race, then this tarmac here will be quite a welcome sight after all of that. If you enjoyed the video, found it useful, then please do hit the subscribe button. It's free and really helps to support the channel. And I'll leave our previous Recce video that we did of the final 20 miles of the Arc of Attrition route just here in case you want to have a watch of that. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.